Cuckoo is a new horror film about a 17-year-old teenage girl called Gretchen, played by Hunter Schafer. Her mother has recently passed away, so she has to go live with her father, who has a new family. His wife is much younger, played by Jessica Henwick, and they also have a little girl called Alma, played by Mila Liu, and her father is played by Martin Sokus. And so she has to go live with her father. Her father is a building developer. At the moment, he's just traveling to Germany to build a resort in the German Alps in the mountains. So that's his job, to design his building, and he's in charge of the construction of this building. So the Gretchen character, she has to go live with her father in the mountains with his new family. Okay, in the German Alps where this family goes to stay, there's already a resort there already. So while they're waiting for this new resort to be built, they're staying in this small resort that's in the German Alps, and this resort is run by the actor Dan Stevens. His character name is He Kong. He's German, and he helps his family settle into this resort, but he's very suspicious from the start. He's a very strange character. Gretchen gets a part-time job in the resort, checking in new customers, new clients into their rooms, and it's kind of like a little gift shop inside the resort as well. So she sells items like gifts and drinks and food and stuff like that in a little shop inside the in the resort. Early on in the film, we find out her stepsister, her little stepsister, has some kind of special ability or some kind of disability where her hearing is very sensitive. And so one day when Gretchen, she is playing her music, Alma, the little girl, she is very sensitive to the music, and she has kind of like a seizure from the sound, and Gretchen gets blamed for this because Alma, she has to go to hospital, and so Gretchen gets blamed for harming her stepsister. Throughout the first half of the film, Gretchen, she gets stalked by this strange character. This monster wears like sunglasses, and I assume it's a woman because she has long blonde hair, and she has kind of like a trench coat on. So she has glasses on, but you can't really, kind of like goggles, black goggles on her eyes, so you can't really see her eyes. And she can like scream, and when she screams, everybody has to cover their ears, and it's very noisy. It's like meow. So that's kind of like her little superpower. So she stalks Gretchen throughout the first half of the film. When Gretchen first goes to the resort, she goes to the bathroom, and this monster is hiding in one of the bathroom stalls. And then later on in the first half of the film, Gretchen is riding her bicycle, and this monster chases her through on the road at night time, and Gretchen has to escape to a hospital, and she eventually gets inside the hospital before this monster can capture her. We're not really given any backstory to this monster, where it comes from, or why it's stalking Gretchen, so it's a little bit confusing as to what this monster is and what its intention is. Because I assume if it really wants to, it could capture Gretchen and kill her, but she's not, for whatever reason, she's not doing that. So it's a little bit confusing in the first half of the film. All of the scares and all of the dangers, we don't know what they are and why, so it kind of removes the attention a little bit from the film. And in the first half of the film, every single character is strange. They have like a strange way of talking and behaving. I think they're trying to put it off as, oh, they are German, and because of their accents they are different. But everyone in this film behaves very strangely, so it just makes it confusing, and everything that Gretchen does is wrong. They don't like everything she does, but for us as the viewers of the film, she seems normal, like a normal teenage girl and we can see that she's doing nothing wrong, but her father and her stepmother, blame her for everything that goes wrong. And but as the viewers of the film, we are one step ahead of the characters, so we know that Gretchen, she's not doing anything wrong. So it's a little bit frustrating. There's so many elements in the first half of the film that are not explained, and it just makes it a little bit unfulfilling and strange and confusing. In the second half of the film, we're introduced to this police cop character played by Jan Bluthart. His name is Henry, and he even from the start he's a little bit strange, but eventually he helps out Gretchen from escaping from this monster a few times, and then eventually Henry and Gretchen they figure out that there's strange events happening in this one hotel room that's part of the resort, and the uh, people who stay in this room, something happens to them, and we find out later in the film that the father and the stepmother of Gretchen, they actually stayed in this hotel room on their honeymoon. So later on in the film, towards the end of the film, they are involved in strange happenings in this film, and we get one scene of Henry and Gretchen. They are outside the room of the room, looking inside, and the monster with the goggle is doing something bad to one of the hotel guests in this room. Okay, I'm going to try and explain the rest of the plot as much as I can. Didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, or maybe just the film is too ambitious. The plot is just too ambitious, but the hotel manager, played by Dan Stevens, he tries to get people to come to this resort so he can mate a new species of birds that have like a special ability with the sound. And I think the monster in this film, she is like a offspring of this hotel manager. It's kind of like his creation, and she can stalk people and use the sound. And Gretchen's father and stepmother have conceived this child, the little girl, the little stepsister, and they're trying to make stepsister this new species, this new bird species that it's not really explained very well what they're trying to do and why they're doing it. It's just they're trying to create a new species that are more powerful than the human species, and that's basically at the end of the film. Eventually, Gretchen destroys this monster character and the Dan Stevens character, and she gets the little stepsister girl, and she eventually escapes from this resort with the stepmother character, the Beth character, and that's basically the end of the film. But yeah, that second half of the film, even not the first half of the film, is confusing because you don't know what the threat is, and the second half of the film, when they do try to explain the threat and what's going on, it's just so ambitious and so over convoluted. But yeah, I do give the new movie points for trying to at least do something different to other horror films, not just a normal shock horror movie. The film is very well made. You can tell the film is directed by someone who knows what they're doing. There's quite a few scenes that are stand out. When the monster is stalking Gretchen, there's a few scary scenes that are very well done and very well shot, and the special effects are done very well, and the performances, even though the performance from Gretchen is very strong, but pretty much all the other characters in the film, including Devon Stevens, all of their performances are very over the top and strange. At least it looks like deliberately. So it's even from the start of the film, you know something's going on, something's wrong, so that it kind of removes the tension from the film a little bit. So even though I had quite a few problems with this film, Cuckoo, I still probably recommend checking it out if you're a fan of horror films, because it is trying to do something. I think some people are really going to dig this film. It does try a lot of stuff. It's different. It's unique. That has quite a few standout scenes. It's ambitious. So I definitely recommend checking it out, even though I had quite a few misgivings about the film. I give Kaku 2.5 stars out of 5.